Hello, welcome again to Deep Pulls, the MTG pack opening series where we try to teach you everything fun and informative we can out of a single pack of Magic cards. I wanted to explain something real quick. The idea of this series is some people seem to have fun watching these videos, so I thought I would try to make it an actual thing. And in order to do that, we are kind of kicking this off by doing 69 consecutive days of videos where there will be pack openings. So this is technically day 3 of 69. Those 69 days will take us all the way through the first month of Strixhaven. Of course, we will be opening some Strixhaven School of Mages when that comes out. And it should take us pretty close to Modern Horizons 2, at which point we can kind of reevaluate. I say we, just kind of me. I'll reevaluate and see how much fun and how much we're getting out of this as a thing and continue from there. Hopefully you'll support us all the way through, and if you don't, then maybe this isn't meant to be long term. As for day 3, we are going to go back to the set booster well, and we're going to open the first ever set with set boosters, Zendikar Rising. Zendikar Rising is our third trip back to the adventure landfall set, which is Zendikar, and we're going to look at these cards. This is, this is one of the art cards. I said ooh because it is a art card for one of the expeditions. They brought expeditions back to a certain degree in the Zendikar reblock here in Zendikar Rising. Expeditions were first in the original Zendikar. They did fetches, shocks, and eventually a bunch of colorless lands. So this is the new art for the new Wasteland, which I actually own one of. It's a pretty cool art, and I was really excited. I was like, oh, what is it? Oh, yeah, it's just the art. It's not the actual card. Now, let's go here. We've got a full art swamp. You know what a swamp does. It taps for black mana. Full art lands were first in the first unglued set. And then people are like, oh, we really like these. Oh, maybe we should just keep doing them. And then they kept doing them. But they wanted to start with them in the land-themed set, which was Zendikar. We've got here the Cleric of Chill Depths. A little 1/3 for 2 taps. It's interesting. It doesn't actually tap the creature. It just keeps it kind of tapped if it hits it. So it's only on blocking, so it makes sense the creature's attacking. These cards can tend to be a little confusing because it makes you think that they tap the thing, but no, they just stop it from untapping. So there you go. We've got here a Seafloor Stalker, excuse me. This is another kind of use of that party mechanic that Zendikar had. Party was sort of the adventuring tribe, adventure mentality, or adventuring party, so to speak. And a lot of these cards basically had a set ability, and then they would get their cost reduced in some way based on the number of party members you have, with each creature already kind of counting. So it has an ability that costs 5, but 1 less to activate for each creature in your party. Well, it's already in your party because it is a rogue, which is one of the party types, so it's already down to 4, and you can get it a lot cheaper. You can multi-pump too if you really want to. Here we go, Farsight Adept. Again, kind of the white draw card sort of testing thing. It's interesting, I think, besides the draw card part, which is starting to be something they want to do more on white in general, is the fact that it seems like the draw card is kind of costed almost like a drawback, sort of, because I'm not used to seeing a lot of 2 and a white 3/3s. White technically usually doesn't get that beefy of a creature at that small of a mana cost, but it's kind of interesting here. And of course, it's a wizard, which is another one of the things we care about for tribes. Speaking of tribes, we've got another wizard here. No, we're not all wizards. I was trying to see if they were all wizards. This one's got Kicker coming back. Kicker originally appeared in the Invasion block as a way to kind of promote, I don't know, story-wise it didn't really mean anything, but it did a lot in that set to kind of cross-promote colors, because that was a very big multicolor block. In this case, Kicker's just back as a big mana mechanic. It just makes it better for all the lands you're supposed to play, because Zendikar is the land set. And we've got more wizard stuff. So I guess wizard is kind of the theme of this set booster. We've got this 1/3 flyer, Umeru Mystic. Triggers off of instant sorceries or wizard spells. Kind of a callback to Wee Dragonauts, which was in the original Guild Pack set and been reprinted a couple times since then. 1/3 flyer. That Wee Dragonauts was a 1/3 flyer for the same mana cost. And it got +2/+0 whenever you played instant or sorcery as kind of a payoff. This one just adds wizards in, so it's a bit of an upgrade. Kind of cool. We've got here a Shatter Skull Minotaur, a 5/4 haster for 6, possibly less depending on the size of your party. I think these creatures are interesting because it has a party type, but the party type doesn't count for its own ability because it's not going to be in play for you to cast it with the benefit. That said, it kind of joins the long line. I mean, Red's been getting a lot of these sort of big haste creatures lately. At least 5 power at like 5 or 6 mana. So interesting to join the party of those, as it were. We've also got here our first MDFC, that is modal double face card. Unlike the other ones, which had a transformative element where they started on one side and became the other, this one you get to choose. So on the front, you've got Black Bloom Rogue, a 2/3 menace, which has kind of that also has the rogue sort of ability in the set, which is a mill payoff. If your opponent has at least 8 cards in their graveyard, it gets a bonus. Kind of interesting. This was a set thing that they played with first on Jace's Phantasm, which was a 1/1 flyer for a blue that got, I believe, +5/+5 if your opponent had like 10 cards in their graveyard, maybe even as far as 20. I think it was just 10. And that thing could become really big. Maybe it was only +4/+4, but it became really big. And it's always kind of a fun, like, how do you make it work? It was such a fun payoff card. And they made it a little bit easier to do on these. And the bonuses, of course, are downscaled as well, only +3/+0 here. But the modal part of it is that all of these, except for the Mythic Rare Cycle, these modal double face cards with the spell on the front side, have a enter the battlefield tap land on it. And I really like these thematically. Basically, this bog, Black Bloom Bog, is where the Black Bloom Rogue is doing his adventures. So it's kind of a fun thing that way. We've got here Marauding Blight Priest, a vampire cleric. Black had some clerics as kind of its like secondary thing behind rogues. And this one's just got a cool little land payoff, reminiscent of things like Exquisite Blood. This kind of, when you gain life, your opponent loses life, has always been fun. And it's a nice little engine card, I think, as well. It also played off kind of your own life gain sort of theme that White-Black had. We've got Oblivion's Hunger. Target creature you control gains indestructible until end of turn, and you draw a card, and you put a +1/+1 counter on it. Oh, sorry, you draw a card if it has a +1/+1 counter on it. Wow, I was going to say that does a lot of stuff for 2 mana. But, +1/+1 counter support was a black-green thing here. This indestructible thing eventually is kind of all over black, a little bit in green. Eventually sort of replaced regeneration. Regeneration was a shield that would prevent a creature from getting destroyed. And that basically has been entirely phased out at this point by Indestructible. So Indestructible obviously stops it from getting destroyed, but doesn't get used up. So it's a little bit more useful. We've also got here a Coralheim Chronicler. This is our rare here. This is the blue-green kind of kicked archetype that was in this set. So whenever you kick, you get to loot. Looting became kind of colloquially a card because of Merfolk Looter, a 2-mana 1/1 creature that tapped to draw a card and discard a card, originally from Exodus. And then looting has become such a popular thing. Blue basically gets it all the time. I mean, once or twice every single set. This one plays it off of kit cards, and then also has this thing where you get to find a kit card to enable its looting, so pretty cool. We've got here our foil, Ardent Electromancer. This is another kind of cool party payoff. What I like about it, again, is that this is designed to kind of already be good if you just have one, because it at least gives you 1 red mana back. But in theory, you could get, more than you put into it out of it. It's an interesting kind of card for like Storm decks. It's a ritual. I don't know how great it's going to be because ritual decks like Storm and stuff aren't going to play a lot of creatures, but I think it is a pretty cool card, and I like it in foil. Look neat. And we actually go back to the list again. You're only supposed to get lists in 1 of 4 set boosters, and we've done it 2 straight here. This is Reality Shift. This is a card that exiles a creature your opponent controls and then allows you to manifest it, which is to it exiles it, they manifest. Manifest is a game action where you take the top card of your library and you put it face down, and then you may pay its that face down card's mana cost to flip it over if it is a creature. Otherwise, it just kind of sits there and who knows what it is. Manifest was a really weird ability in a set that had, in a block that had Morph and then Manifest and then Megamorph, which was just bigger morph. Really weird. But yeah, fun to get it. Again, another card that's actually kind of popular sort of commander thing because blue gets to deal with creatures this way. Really, really interesting to get another one of these. So not as successful as our last pack. We only got the 1 rare as opposed to the 3 from before. Spoilers if you didn't watch that. But at least we got another list card, so I would consider that successful. Thank you again for your time, and please join us tomorrow where we will open another pack, and then join us for the other 65 straight days where we plan to keep opening more packs. Thank you. Bye-bye.